everybody, John and Debbie here. Welcome back to the App Show. Today, we're going to take a detailed look into Drive.
People have a couple of fears about storing their files in Drive, like, what if somebody I'm working with deletes my files?
Well, they actually can't, and we'll tell you why.
And what if somebody I don't want to sees those files?
Well, if you have the right access settings, they won't be able to. So we'll show you how. Drive is essentially the storage system for all of your Google editing apps. So whenever you work on your documents, they're saved automatically, and you can also collaborate in real time with your colleagues.
As a Google for Work apps user, you get 30 gigabytes of storage, and the native docs, sheets, slides, and drawings don't count towards that, so all that storage can be saved for images, videos, and other files.
And we'll start by talking about access settings, so who can see your documents, edit, and move them in Drive. I usually get to Drive via the Apps icon on Chrome and the Apps Launcher. I have it in List View, which shows all of my files, and then below are all of the loose files that I haven't put in folders yet. The file here, Test Doc, I made just a moment ago, and I'm going to use it so we can see the default sharing settings. Now, a quick way to see who has access to it is to highlight the file, then open the Details panel by clicking the eye icon. And there it is, Not Shared, which is the default setting for all files you create. The admin on your account can also change the default settings. On the mobile version, the eye icon is right here next to the file name. The layout of information is slightly different, but again, you can see only I have access. You'll also notice the link sharing is off. We'll come back to that later. I can share wherever I see this icon of a person and a plus sign. Let me share it with Debbie, and as I start to type her name, it offers me choices. This pin symbol indicates that Debbie can edit the file. If I click, then I can change it to Can Comment or Can View. I'm going to let her edit it, which of course means she can also comment and view. She'll get an email letting her know, and I can add a message to her if I want, and hit send.
Hold on. Before you send, let's look at the advanced settings. Click on the word Advanced. There are a few other possibilities here, which means you can offer lots of different types of access. Often, files aren't super private. In fact, you want to share them with lots of people, so you can do that with link sharing. You can share via Google+, Gmail, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay, so it's saying that the content is private, so you have to change the visibility. Here, you can set it to anyone on the web. Be aware that your admin may have turned this off to stop you from sharing with anyone on the web, or may only allow you to share with whitelisted domains. Another choice is anyone with a link or just specific people. So for a document we're keeping in the team, I'd use that setting. To share with customers, I'd use the anyone with the link setting. So cancel this out so I can show you the next set of options. John is inviting me to be able to edit the file, but he can also make 2 more owner settings. He can prevent editors from changing access and adding new people. This might be important if you want to just keep it within your team. You can also disable, download, print, and copy for commenters and viewers. Okay, John, you can send it now. The advanced settings mean you can really control who has access to your files, and more importantly, what kind of access. Now, if I go to my Drive, the test doc is now shared with me. If I highlight it, I can click on this folder symbol to add to my Drive. Then it lets me select where I want to put it.
So all of those access settings we just looked at for an individual file work for a shared folder. So when I start a project, I like to set up a shared folder first, get all the settings right, and then give it to the team. That way, if Debbie adds a file to the shared folder, all those access settings are already in place and automatically applied to the file.
So when I'm working in a folder with lots of collaborators or tons of critical files, I check in every few weeks using the Details panel. And that way I can make sure that everybody has the right level of access. For me, that usually means that most people have view-only access, with a couple of code creators having create or edit.
And that's important because some files and folders are shared with a large group of people and some with a smaller group. So it's important to keep your eye on those settings.
So I have a horror story.
Prove it.
So this one time, I went to a folder I'm owner of where I was expecting to find a bunch of video files we had shared with customers, but they weren't there. Someone else with edit access had deleted them, or that's what I thought. In a panic, I immediately researched to see what happens when you delete files and how to recover them. So it turns out that only the owner can actually trash something. If another editor in a shared folder deletes a file, it disappears from the folder but doesn't actually get deleted. So John's just deleted my precious file called testdoc2. As the owner, I can find it by searching for it up here. or by going to Recent. There it is. And now I can highlight it and use Add to my drive like before. There. I'm going to put it right back in the folder and change the advanced access settings.
If you accidentally delete one of your own files, just look for it in the trash folder.
Definitely worth knowing, as is the use of Activity Panel. We showed you how to open the Details panel. Well, next to it is the Activity panel. This records pretty much all the steps that are taken with a file and who takes those steps. Aha, there it is, right there. John removed an item.
Guilty.
As the owner, you can also re-find the missing file from the Activity panel by clicking on the file name. There's one more feature of Drive I'd like to cover. It's something I use a lot. You can actually take the image of a text document and convert it on Drive to a doc.
You need to take the picture via Drive on your mobile phone and then convert it in Drive on your laptop.
In Drive, hit the red plus sign and choose Scan. On iOS devices, this is called Use Camera. A good result depends a lot on your photography skills. Try to keep the page flat, shoot it square on, and avoid shadows. If it's good, hit the tick mark. The PDF will upload to Drive. Note that it doesn't go into your Photos folder unless you move it there. On your laptop, you're going to open it in Docs. To do that, highlight it and go to the 3 dots icon for more actions. Open with Google Docs. It will process for a while, then it will give you the image at the top and its best guess at optical character recognition below it. It only works if the image is in the right orientation. For some reason, you can't save it, but you can copy the text and paste it into a new document. This feature has been available for a while in a different form, so this is a new way of doing it. I use this a lot when I'm traveling, especially for receipts. I basically take scans of anything given to me on paper because I'm really bad at keeping track of paper.
Well, that's it for this episode, and let us know what you think in the comments below.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share.
Now next week, we're actually going to go over tools specifically for small businesses. Once upon a time, a few years ago, you had to give presentations on your laptop by plugging in a cable.
But now, since all of your slides are saved to Drive, you can do this from any device.